Hello everyone, the song All-Star by Smash Mouth did not come from the film Shrek. As a matter of fact, it was featured on the film Mystery Men in 1999. That's right, today's the 20th anniversary of Mystery Men. Mystery Men is one of those films that has a special place in my heart. This was a film that was truly ahead of the curve, ahead of its time. I love this film. I first came across noticing this film. I had a comic book, Superman comic book, and there was an ad for Mystery Men. It had that black poster with all the characters there. I just saw Ben Stiller on Something About Mary. Don't ask me. I watched it with my parents. I watched a lot of R-rated films when I was young. But I wanted to see this film. I thought it was going to be like a legit superhero film, you know? I love films like Blank Man. I love the Batmans. But I really thought this was going to be like a serious team, like a team-up film of these mystery men. I did not know it was based upon a comic book series, which actually had the Flaming Carrot, which was not featured in this. As a matter of fact, not many characters from the comic were featured in this. It was thought to be too flamboyant, so they came up with Captain Amazing, wonderfully portrayed by Greg Kinnear. And the cast is great in this film. Yeah, my mom out there, if you're watching, thank me. Thank your son Fred for basically begging you to take me to this movie. Because of my desire to see this film, the both of us got to see a cult classic that was ahead of its time. Yeah, I actually saw Mystery Men in theaters. I begged my mom to take me, and we both were surprised to see it was a comedy. We weren't expecting it to be that way. It was like going to Galaxy Quest expecting Star Trek, and you got something that was like a satire of the genre. But I love it. I love this group of people who think they are superheroes. I mean, it's pretty much cosplayers in real life. That's pretty much what the Mystery Men are, to some degree. But I love the set and world of this. It feels very much like a comic book come to life. A lot of the sets were sets from Batman Forever. I love Ben Stiller as Mr. Furious, him getting angry. You have William H. Macy as the Shoveler. Oh man, let's not forget Jeffrey Rush as the villain, Casanova Frankenstein. Then we have Janine Garofalo as the bowler. Her father was Carmine, the bowler. You have Eddie Izzard in this movie. Man, he's fantastic. I love all the 70s disco music. I was also getting into the film Saturday Night Fever and music from the Bee Gees, so that added an extra layer of love for this film. We also have Hank Azaria as the Blue Raja, Wes Studi as Spinks, Paul Reubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, plays Spleen. Oh my god, pull my finger, yeah. Silent, but deadly. And then we have Kel Mitchell as Invisible Boy. That's right. Good Burger. I love his role in this. I love Tom Waits in this film, and he's talking about like the first non-lethal tank. It's just a giant magnet. All these non-lethal weapons. I love that part where they're at his factory. The whole introduction at the nursing home. Then we also have Claire Forlani as Mr. Furious's love interest. You may recognize her from Meet Joe Black and the show Camelot. She does a great job here. I love it where she kisses him for the first time, and Ben Stiller is just like out of character. He's like, no, my name's Roy. Roy, I'm not Mr. Furious, my name's Roy. That part was so funny. This was directed by Kinka Usher, and I thought this director was going to do more films. I'm surprised to see that he didn't have many other films in his filmography. He basically had a lot of trouble with this film. It was too big, and I mean, he did it all right. He did a great job, but he just didn't enjoy it. He did music videos and commercials and stuff before. You definitely get that type of vibrancy and kind of energy and style of like a music video. But I just love the whole satire of Captain Amazing at the beginning. Him being sponsored by these different sponsors, having all these brands on him. I mean, it's almost like the current superhero culture now. He has no villains left to fight, so what does he do? He lets out one of his most evil villains. And I love the whole alter egos, making fun of Superman, and then Casanova Frankenstein. Jeffrey Rush is great. That whole part where they have that confrontation is just like, I knew that you knew, I knew you knew. I love that. And then him capturing Captain Amazing, Mr. Furious figuring that out and getting the rest of his band together and recruiting superheroes to rescue the real hero, Captain Amazing. I love that aspect of the film, him featuring other villains, inviting them to a party. And Michael Bay does have a cameo. I thought that was Michael Bay. I'm like, that freaking frat boy looks like Michael Bay. It turns out it is. But I just love the whole aspect of them thinking they're superheroes. William H. Macy is great as the Shoveler. You know, you have his wife and kid there. They don't want him to go out and do this. Blue Raja, Hank Azaria is great, living with his mother. There's a touching scene there with the forks. I like that. He doesn't throw knives, he throws forks. It's just so unique. There's a lot of funny humor here. Janine Garofalo is fantastic as always. Her and Ben Stiller are great collaborators, and yeah, I like her as the bowler here. Her father's skull in that bowling ball. And when they recruit superheroes, it's hilarious. There's a lot of like different cosplayers. And then, yeah, Dane Cook in an early role as the Waffler. Waffle Man! And he like burns himself with a freaking toaster. Like, holy crap. Anyway, that was funny. And then he's like, I am Ballerina Man. It's just a whole comedic satire of the superhero genre and what we see now today as cosplaying. But I love them finally coming together, and then they screw up. They kill Captain Amazing. They have that whole part with the switch, and I just picture Greg Kinnear just like, you moron, moron, moron.
You moron! Whoa. You're a moron! You're a moron!
Him going over on that. Speaking of which, according to Ben Stiller in a David Letterman interview, him and Greg Kinnear had a heated debate. He wanted to be released from this film. Thankfully, that wasn't the case because this is one of Ben Stiller's best films, and this is an underrated film. I love Mystery Men. I love Invisible Boy, how he can only turn invisible when nobody sees him, and he actually does. And it has a zany, wacky, fun nature to it. You have Spinks there training them, no longer believing in Mr. Furious. Ben Stiller's character gets kind of jealous. I love that part where they're training, and he's just like, you need to learn how to balance. And it's like, how can I do that with watermelon on my feet? And he's like, I didn't tell you to put watermelon on your feet. I love that. Their whole suit redesign, the comedy there. And ultimately, that final confrontation of the Mystery Men becoming superheroes of their own, defeating evil. This film is such a fantastic film, 20 years later, and I just want to reflect upon it, you know. This, for those who haven't seen Mystery Men, do yourself a favor and check it out. It has just as much comedy, if not more brilliant comedy. It has humor than the other superhero stuff you see now, and if you like comedy, stuff that's like with superheroes, this film was ahead of the curve. For those out there, let me know what you think about Mystery Men. If you've seen it, you know how special it is. This film was truly ahead of the curve. Like, I think this film, if it was released now, would have gotten some more love. I have an idea for like a spec script of Mystery Men 2. They should do a sequel where they're like older heroes, so it'd be like a parody of like the Expendables and like Incredibles with like them being too old to do this. Like, they weren't fit to be superheroes to begin with, but now they're like past their prime. So, like, spinning it that way, I don't know. It'd be cool to bring some elements of the comics. I had no idea they were based on comics, and it made me want to read them. And yeah, this was special seeing this in theaters. I begged my mom to get it for me on VHS. My brother had the regular VHS, but my mom ended up getting me one at Best Buy that was like the special edition. You know, when they used to have like the silver outline, had that tie-dye cover. I love this movie. And just all the characters and the predicaments, even to when they had the non-lethal tank, all the stuff there, the shrinking machine, the blame thrower, and they're arguing. I love that. And also like Ben Stiller's boss, where she's like, junk it. And he's like, I can't just junk it, okay? She's like, I want you to junk it, just junk it. And he gets like the stress ball and he's like really mad. It's just hilarious. His fits of just fury and just him getting angry. It's just so freaking hysterical. Ben Stiller's comedy at his best, man. Oh man, I love Mystery Men, and it truly stands the test of time. This film is just as good, if not maybe even better, with a lot of moments of humor than it was 20 years ago. And yeah, every time I listen to All Star by Smash Mouth, I always think of this film. Definitely check out Mystery Men, and yeah, I love this film. Feel free down in the comments below, share your memories of when you first saw Mystery Men. What did you think of it? Who's your favorite character? I love all the characters. I love William H. Macy as the Shoveler the best. He's my favorite character. Like, that's probably my favorite William H. Macy role. I like him and Mr. Furious. All the characters are great. And yeah, it's just an awesome movie. Also, you can follow me on the Stardust app at Fred Film Fanatic. You can see my Mystery Men reaction there. And yeah, check out these other retrospectives and videos for more content. Feel free to subscribe for more videos. Man, time flies, but it definitely felt like 1999 back in the day. I'm going to go ahead and get the VHS of Mystery Men out. I hope to do another Blu-ray. Shout Factory, release a Blu-ray.